Hello friends, I hope you are well. Today we will talk about Quintus Claudius Quadrigarius. Quintus Claudius Quadrigarius was an ancient Roman historian, but unfortunately, very little is known about his personal life. He lived and wrote during the late Republic, roughly in the 1st century BCE, though some sources place his activity possibly in the late 2nd century BCE. His exact dates of birth and death are unknown. Quadrigarius was a Roman annalist, part of a tradition of historians who chronicled Roman history in a straightforward, year-by-year manner. His work was written in Latin, and it continued the tradition of earlier annalists like Gaius Licinius Macer and Valerius Antius. Quadrigarius was appreciated for his vivid storytelling and detailed accounts, especially of military history. Later authors, like Aulus Gellius, quoted him to illustrate points of grammar and style, which tells us he was considered an important source. Livy used him as one of his references for early Roman history. Sadly, nothing concrete is known about his family, political career, if any, or personal experiences. Even his place of birth is uncertain, though the Claudius name suggests he belonged to the gens Claudia, a prominent Roman family. Although much of his work is lost, Quadrigarius is still remembered as part of the tradition of Roman annalistic history that helped shape our understanding of early Rome. His accounts, even in fragments, provide valuable insight into Roman warfare, politics, and society during the Republic. His Annals covered at least 23 books, but remember, most of the text is lost, and we only have fragments quoted by later writers like Aulus Gellius and others. Still, here's a book-by-book style reconstructed summary, as close as we can get. Book 1-2 begins with the Gallic sack of Rome, c. 390 BCE. Describes the defense of the Capitoline Hill and the heroism of figures like Marcus Manlius Capitolinus. Likely covered the rebuilding of the city and early recovery of Rome after the disaster. Book 3-4 deals with the early wars with the Latins, Etruscans, and Samnites. Covers the social and military reforms in the aftermath of the Gallic invasion. Possibly included accounts of famous battles like the Battle of the Allia and campaigns to reclaim lost territories. Book 5-7 focuses on the Samnite Wars. Describes the famous Battle of the Caudine Forks, 321 BCE, where Roman forces were humiliated. Highlights Rome's resilience and eventual victory over the Samnites. Book 8-10 covers the wars against Pyrrhus of Epirus and his famous war elephants. Details the Battle of Heraclea, 280 BCE, and Battle of Asculum, 279 BCE. Shows Rome's increasing dominance in Italy. Book 11-13 describes the First Punic War, 264–241 BCE, against Carthage. Naval battles and the struggle for Sicily. Possibly mentions the early use of the Roman navy and victories like Mylae. Book 14-16 covers the period between the Punic Wars, including Roman expansion into Cisalpine Gaul and Illyricum. May have included the beginnings of Roman intervention in the eastern Mediterranean. Sets the stage for the next great conflict. Book 17-19 the Second Punic War, 218–201 BCE, the highlight of Roman military history. Detailed accounts of Hannibal's invasion, the crossing of the Alps, and battles like Tribia, Lake Trasimene, and Cannae. Descriptions of Roman leaders like Scipio Africanus and the eventual defeat of Hannibal at Zama. Book 20-22 the aftermath of the Punic Wars, Roman supremacy in the Mediterranean. Expansion into Greece and conflicts with Philip V of Macedon. Probably included the conquest of Macedonia and the sacking of Corinth. May have reached the Jugurthine War or the early Social War period. Book 23 and final books. Ends around the period of Sulla's civil wars, 82 BCE. Describes the internal conflicts of Rome, power struggles, and Sulla's rise to power. Possibly ends with Sulla's dictatorship or his proscriptions. Military history is central. Battles, tactics, generals. Rome's rise from a vulnerable city to a Mediterranean superpower. Detailed, dramatic narration, especially of combat scenes. Social and political developments, like reforms, conflicts between patricians and plebeians, and civil unrest. His style is noted for being fast-paced and vivid. Since we don't have the full text, this summary is based on a combination of surviving fragments, references by later authors especially Aulus Gellius, and the structure typical of Roman annalists of the time. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and press the bell icon for more videos.